that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Oh, hey there, YouTube. We're back again today for another game review, another special Kickstarter review today for Masters of the Gridiron from Sports Mogul Inc. This is for 2 players, ages, I'd say 8 and up. It'll take about 15 minutes to play, and in Masters of the Gridiron, you will be playing football with real football players from real football teams. You're going to be putting together different decks if you want to do it, playing as real teams, playing on offense and defense, doing playbooks and stuff. Super cool. Intrigued? Let's open up and see how it plays. Alright, so let's take a look at what you're going to get inside of Masters of the Gridiron. As I always like to mention, this is the promotional copy that they sent me. I only have 6 of the 32 teams, which you would be receiving, I would assume. First and foremost, I want to go out and I want to just talk a little bit about this game. It's not officially licensed by the NFL, so they don't use the team name. What they do use are all the team's players' names. So as you can see down there, there's Colin Kaepernick. He's from San Francisco. He's a quarterback. They got how much money he made, passer stats, well, not his passer stat, his passer rating, and all sorts of different things, the college he went to. So they have all of these real-world statistics for all these different players that are real players in the big football league. So that's how they do that. But anywho, back to the rule booklet. First and foremost, we have a very short and to-the-point rule booklet. It is 2 pages, full color, double-sided. Very good rule booklet. It will quickly show you how to play the game, and the game itself is very simple. So for this game, you're going to get your team's cards. So they don't have the team on the back, but if you look on the front, you'll see that I'm playing as Chicago. And then on this side, we have Denver. Go Denver. So we have Chicago versus Denver over here. Since this is Denver, obviously you expect Peyton Manning's in here, and Wes Welker, Demaryius Thomas, a lot of the big Denver players that you know and that you love. And on this side, of course, we got Brandon Marshall, Jay Cutler, all the guys from Chicago. We have offense cards, we have defense cards, and we have playbook cards. These are the 3 types of cards that you will have in the game. Very simple. So what you're going to do to start off the game is you are going to draw from your deck 3 offense, 4 playbook cards, and then 3 defense cards, and these are going to be cards in your hand that you can look at. Likewise, your opponent will do the same thing. You will figure out who's going to go first, and then that person is going to look at their cards. And since they start on offense, how this is going to work is they're going to look at their playbook cards first, and they're going to look at their playbook cards and figure out how they would like to score. So in your playbook cards, you're going to have 3 kinds of cards. You're going to have field goals, which will get you 3 points. You're going to have touchdowns, which will get you 7 points. And then you're going to have team cards, which can be played on offense or defense, and it will say very specifically what they do. So this is +8 coverage, so you'd be playing this when you're playing a defense card. So we don't need a defense card right now. We're on offense. We're Chicago. We're on offense. And we would say, all right, you know what? We're going to go for this field goal, for example. So if we successfully complete this, we will gain 3 points. So it says 3 points, field goal, and it means that you are going to take your passing or pass blocking for one of your offensive players, and you're going to take that up against one of the defensive players that your opponent has, and that's going to be pass rush or coverage. So essentially what this means is we're going to look at our hand and we're going to see what we have offense-wise. We'll take our 3 offensive cards, which we have Jay Cutler. We got Jermon Bushrod, Jermaine Bushrod, and then we have Brandon Marshall. I'm a big Jay Cutler fan, so we'll look at him first. And it says Jay Cutler has passing of 61 or red zone of 64. So on offense, we can use one of those 2 abilities. We could also use his rushing or his goal line, but that won't work right now, because right now we're looking at passing or pass blocking for this card. So we'll stop there. We'll say, all right, Jay Cutler's got passing of 61. That's not bad. So we'll consider him. We got Bushrod here, who's got pass blocking of 71. So that's even higher. So if I play this guy, I'm going to have a 71. If I play Jay Cutler, I'm only going to have a 74. Then we got Brandon Marshall down here, who I'm assuming we're not going to want because he doesn't pass very well. And then we'll look at his pass blocking. He's only got a 64, so we're not going to play him. So it's either going to be Jay Cutler or Jermon Bushrod. Now, Jay Cutler is going to get us a 64 on, or a 61 on passing, and Bushrod's going to give us a 70 or a 71 on pass blocking. But there's also modifiers up here in the corner. This says +5 to QB passing. So if our quarterback is passing, we're going to get +5 to our number automatically. So I'll say, okay, so this goes from a 61 to a 66. You know what? I'm happy with that. I'm happy with 66. So we're going to take this, we're going to say, all right, I'm playing my field goal card right here. I got 66 on Jay Cutler. So we put it down here, and then the defense is going to look at their defensive player cards, and not their offense, and they're going to see if they can beat the 66. Now for them, they're going to be looking at their pass rush or their coverage. So essentially what they have to do is beat a 66 with pass rush or coverage, or tie it at least. So we got Kevin Vickerson, we got Danny Trevathan, and we got Chris Harris, and we're looking at pass rush or coverage. So coverage right here is 49. Pass rush is a 70, which is awesome. That means essentially I can lay this down and boom, the defense knocks the offense out. No one scores on this play. Both players get their cards back. They put them over to the side because no one scored. And then you're going to draw back up. If you played a defense card, obviously you'll draw a defense card. And if you played an offense card, then obviously you'll draw an offense card. And then now the person that was on defense gets the ball back. And they're going to be doing this on offense. So they'll be playing down an offense card and an offensive playbook card. And if you score, what you do is you'll get rid of your players still, but you'll put your points over to the side, and then at the end of the game, whoever has the most of these points face up, it will be the winner of Masters of the Gridiron. Now, there are also some additional advanced rules for overtime and two-point conversions and setting up your own team and deck building and all sorts of stuff, but that's how the base game is played. Pretty simple game. You know when you've ended the game once you have no cards on offense or defense in front of you, and that is when the game is over. And that, in a nutshell, is how Masters of the Gridiron is played. Alrighty then, Masters of the Gridiron. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, the game's not going to be for everybody for a couple different reasons. First and foremost, it's only 2 players, so if you got a bigger game night, it's obviously not going to be for you. It only takes 15 minutes, and while there is some strategy in the game, it's not too deep of a strategy game. It's not going to be a real brain burner if that's your cup of tea. The artwork is pretty non-existent. There's not much artwork in the game to really speak of, but the biggest thing that's going to be a turnoff to a lot of people is that this is a football game, and it is made for, I think, people who really enjoy football. You can play as all the players that you know and that you love in the big football league. But if you don't like regular football, well, then this probably isn't going to be your cup of tea. If you don't salivate at having, Jay Cutler throw to Randy Moss, and if you don't salivate about making your own unique special team, the game might not be for you, because this, in my opinion, moving on to the pros, is aimed at people who really enjoy football, like me. I love football, and they sent me my favorite team here, and it had all the players that I know and love. Like, some of the players, I was like, really? You got this guy and this guy? They really did a fantastic job of getting almost everybody on the team into your deck. Bang up job on that. And I'll be honest with you, when I got this, moving on to the pros though, I love it for that. I love it because you can create your own team. And I think if this game gets big, this could be huge. I mean, if you enjoy building your own deck and you love football, I think you will absolutely adore this game. The idea of just putting together these dream teams of players and then maybe having a strong offense and a weak defense and having different playbook styles and all this sort of stuff is really going to excite people. Me, personally, I love the idea of this game. I hope it succeeds very well. Moving on to the other pros of the game, though, it's quick, 15 minutes, and it really does play just like this. It's easy to teach, easy to learn, and it's about football, and I love football. But if you're into the football, then you should definitely check out Masters of the Gridiron. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for your time, YouTube.
That was the review for Masters of the Gridiron. For more reviews and previews, check back at Bauer's Game Corner.